board, like I missed the first part of the water meeting. One meeting we missed the second half, one meeting we missed the first half.
Oh,
So
geez.
it's just been this ongoing. Okay.
Okay, we're
Okay.
good. We're on, okay. It is September 15th at 10:01. I'll call the meeting to order. The listers of North Hero. Are there any adjustments to the meeting, to the agenda? Sorry.
I don't have any, no.
None, comments and questions? I don't see anyone.
No, we don't.
Oh, that's right, we don't do
Yeah,
that.
it's all in person.
And there's no one here?
Nope.
Okay, board discussion. Budget building, lister compensation, lister board structure. They're all kind of intermingled, so we were just, we have in front of us the job descriptions for the assessor and the assistant assessor, which were approved.
Which were approved. So
The board is.
you have the letter from September of 2023 that you presented to the select board recommending that you do away with the board of listers and hire an assessor and assistant assessor, of which they denied. And the meetings minutes say the listers review their proposal to eliminate the office of listers and hire an employee to fill the role of assessor and the listers. Discussion on increasing state standards, lack of firms to contract with, tight hiring market, looming retirements for current listers and assessor, available budget for hiring, the need for a town-wide reappraisal and the transition to a new state tax billing system follows. The select board requests a job description and budget proposal for the position. They also request the listers advertise a future vacancy in the office to see if there are any residents interested in filling and continuing the elected lister role. So nowhere does the minute say that they didn't, but they didn't. They didn't want to do away with, they didn't want to do away with the board of listers. I can go back through the audio and listen to the conversation, but,
Okay.
but they recommended job descriptions and, advertising for filling the elected lister role.
Which kind of means they didn't.
They didn't want to do it. I remember that. They didn't want to do away with it. So now you have the two job descriptions that you came up with that you presented to them in November. Which they approved, because then you advertised for an assessor, an assistant assessor. So the question now is, with the required training. So the
48
setup
hours.
was to pay the assessor and pay the assistant assessor and not pay the board members. Because the board members were getting a stipend, no longer pay the board members. And they would just have to attend a monthly, I think there's a job description for the,
Lister?
yeah, I thought so.
No.
Of what they're, no, it's not in there. I thought there was.
Appraiser, assessor. And then.
So I think it was just
Just that,
one meeting a month. And that was all.
right, that's what it was, and sign the grand list and. what's
Yeah,
that?
it's right here.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yep, so,
On the back.
it's on
of-
the back of the
Yeah.
budget.
oh. I knew it was somewhere, yeah,
Okay.
there it is, there's the lister duties, so it was just to
Okay.
attend one meeting a month. You would be responsible for signing the grand list and attend grievance hearings. And oversee the assessor and the assistant assessor. So after that, we haven't been able to fill that third role as an assessor, because Kathy, I think, initially wanted to be the assistant assessor and not be a lister, right?
Right.
We would get 3 listers, and we haven't been able to get a third lister.
Right,
So now with the requirements of the training, which is 48 hours a year. We can't expect a lister not to be paid for that. So. I guess the question is, how are you guys thinking to move forward?
and it's not just the 48 hours, because some of them aren't. It's the time to take the training. If it's in person, to drive wherever,
Yeah. Yeah,
stay overnight. Be there for the 8 hours of training while you're there.
You can't ask people to do it without paying them.
No, I agree. I don't think it's right not to pay. I think
Well-
they should be paid.
And not only that, but you're not gonna find people who are willing to do that.
Yeah. You know,
So the question is, do we go back to a 3-person lister board?
well, isn't that what we are now?
Yeah,
Well, you're a 3-person lister board with an assessor,
Right. Oh, okay.
and now Mary's not, has said that she, right,
right.
are not interested in taking the training.
I don't,
Mm,
I feel like it's, a waste of time to take the training and not do the work.
Yeah,
It just seems, like an expense that doesn't benefit anyone. I
Yeah.
just don't get it. And it's not really about the money for me. For me, it's the committing to the
The time.
48 hours plus your travel time. And then,
plus it's really not just the 48 hours.
No.
We always have had appeals that we have to deal with. So there's a day of,
yeah,
appeals and sometimes it goes to the BCA and that's another day of meetings.
yeah, and that part of it doesn't bother me. It's just, I just feel like it's waste.
It seems to me they could have come up with a way to acknowledge people or grandfather people who are presently
Well,
listers because people have
so many years of experience.
so many years, like people who have X number of years of experience are exempt from doing the training. Or I don't know if they've,
or at least exempt from doing some of the training. I realize laws change, there are different things that come up and they change the way it's done. And there's,
Demands from Vermont, from the capital get bigger
yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
So,
no, they have changed,
Initiated all this.
yeah. Yeah, because there are more functions that are now done at the local level than at the state level.
yeah.
I suppose it could change again. They're talking about having the state do all the appraisals.
Well, they're talking about redistricting, which will probably align with school redistricting. And that they would oversee the reappraisals for all the towns. There are towns that are not actively seeking reappraise, are under orders to reappraise, are not actively seeking reappraisals. So in order to get everybody on a reappraisal schedule every 6 years, they, I think, want to redistrict and create initially, they were gonna do everything. Like,
Yeah.
they talked about
Yeah.
doing everything, and then it was like, that's not gonna work. I think they realized that pretty quickly. So now it's just gonna be, it's called a reappraisal district, and they will oversee, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means they oversee the scheduling of it. I don't know if it means they oversee the work of it as well.
The
or
results.
The results, or
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that means, but that's the proposal.
I would assume that they're gonna oversee the results.
Oversee the results and
want
make sure
to-
that they're getting scheduled, that they schedule them and they line
Right.
people up and they
Well, and that the final numbers are acceptable to
accept
them.
to them, and
Yeah.
could very well be.
Yeah,
That, everything's, but even like our reappraisal right now, I mean, you signed that form last week, you have to tell them, you have to show them the contract, you have to, I had to send PVR the contract before we signed it and made sure that it had everything that we were supposed to have. The 3-prong test and, that they were gonna do this, and this, and so they looked over all of that, that's all part of it.
Hmm. What are
Uh,
they,
So
what are they doing in these towns that aren't doing?
I don't know, and I don't know how they're getting around it. There are towns that haven't, we haven't reappraised since 2014, but there are towns that haven't reappraised since 2009, 2010.
wow,
And, they have to be, I think they know now that everybody's under an order to reappraise and there aren't the companies out there.
Right.
But, I think if they get everybody on a rolling 6-year schedule. There hasn't been a lot about what this redistricting office will do, this reappraisal office will do, district reappraisal office. So,
I think it would make a big difference if we were able to post a paid lister position.
I don't know, we have in the past,
And still, that didn't do anything either.
no, we had a couple of people come in and talk to us, but
Right.
then they,
so. I think we all agree it has to be a paid position.
do we get to decide that?
No.
We have to present it to.
We have
the
to
select-
present, but so I think we need to come up with what we're gonna present to the select board. So, I guess my. I don't know, a question or concern, maybe is a better word, that. Should we continue with a 3-person lister board and an assessor and an assistant? Should we continue with, that's 5 people that will have to be paid to be trained,
Hmm,
with only 2 doing the work,
Mm,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that it's a waste of money for 3 people, but that's not it's not the word I want to use, but there is an expense there that really,
doesn't benefit anyone.
right, which is how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And Kathy be both an assistant assessor and a lister.
Well, so that's the question. Do we just have a 3-lister board, the 3 of us? And go back to just a 3-lister board?
So would you be a lister?
I can be a lister.
There's nothing saying. you
There's
can't.
nothing saying I can't. The difference between a lister and assessor is that a lister is elected and assessor is appointed. Those are the only 2 differences. And an assessor now has to be a level 2. If I'm gonna be called an assessor, I have to go to that level 2 certification, and
Mhm.
listers only need to be a level 1. So technically, if I am a lister, I would be a level 1. I could only be a level 1, but I've already received my level 1 and I'm
Working
only
on
one
level
course away on, I mean, I would just keep working on whatever.
but you could be a
I
level
could,
2.
I could be a level 4 as a lister
Right.
or an assessor. You could be, yes. I could do all that. I
Yeah.
could do, it's just a title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could
but
do
there's
it.
a big difference in the skill set that you need to be
yeah,
an assessor of. And that of a lister. I mean, I've been doing this for 2 years, I'm nowhere near the skill level of the assessor, nowhere near. And I wonder, I mean, I think there are some people out there that are new at doing this, that are listers that are really struggling.
well, I can imagine.
It's a lot. There's a lot to it.
There is,
There's a
Yeah.
lot, which is why they tell everybody at the beginning, don't feel overwhelmed. It takes 3 years to actually, feel like you at least know what's going on.
yeah. And then they're talking about changing the software that they're using, and so then there's all that, they've done software updates.
So then they'll have to be training on that. I don't see why you couldn't, I mean, if you can be a lister. And you would have to run. So then you'd be a 3-member board. What would be wrong with that? As long as they're not saying an assessor can't be a lister too.
And the big difference is that Tom would not have been able to be a lister, because you have to be a
You have to,
resident,
yeah, you have to live in town.
and
Right.
live in town.
But in our current situation with me, I'm not saying this would work, maybe. I mean, it could work after I'm on, right? Like, just get another lister.
No, wait, say that again?
Well, so in 10 years, if I retire,
Oh,
what happens, right?
Right,
So you either,
and somebody else will have to decide.
worry
how
about
to
it.
manage
right, and by then it could be totally different anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So,
or you move or I move,
And then you
Can't
can
be
no
a
longer
lister.
lister.
Yeah,
but I could be an assistant assessor.
Yes,
So that gets to be an issue too.
yeah. But, I
But
mean,
for right
things
now,
change,
yeah.
you know, you never know what's gonna happen down the road.
Well, that would simplify.
I just think it's a lot to expect taxpayers to pay 5 people to be trained
Yeah.
when only 2 are going to actually be using the training and doing the work.
Yeah.
I just think that's a big ask, but Jim, what do you say? You haven't really said much.
I would be willing to do it without pay.
Even the training?
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, if the training's when I'm end of March, she's coming here, when I'm done in the Belgian or Netherlands, I'm.
You're not gonna do
going to
training.
Skip the training. So, but, if I'm around, it wouldn't bother me terribly. To go to training,
But most people probably wouldn't feel that way,
No,
but
and
Well,
not be paid.
the
But you should
town
be
would
paid.
pay the cost of the training.
Yeah,
They
oh,
just
absolutely,
wouldn't pay me, which is fine.
the hourly pay.
or. I mean, there's. Part of my HR thing coming in, it's that it's not legal not to pay people when they.
when they're required.
When you're required to work.
I thought of that, yeah. It's just like, when I come in and I forget to put something on my timesheet, I'm not supposed to do that. It's like,
No, you're not.
Dave
Yes,
used to spend extra hours and I understand his mindset, but, you can't do
It isn't
that.
legal, yeah.
So you're right. I
I mean,
think
I had a
people-
bookkeeper and she loved to put together notebooks. They were beautiful. All tabbed and everything, but she was doing it at home at night. And I said, you have to be paid for those hours.
Yeah,
So,
so I think that is a consideration. I think people do have to be paid legally. People have to be paid, even though, you're saying you don't really care.
Yeah.
But then,
I mean, if you were paid and then you donated the money back to the town.
Yeah.
That's different.
I guess, yeah, I
That's-
didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's different than not being paid. Or opting to be, I'm not sure you can opt to be a volunteer. I don't know. That's.
Well, you can't when you're in an elected position, I don't think. Oh, yeah, you can. Select board's not paid, I think.
They are paid, they get a
They-
stipend,
Okay,
they get a stipend, water board gets a stipend, those are the only 2 paid boards in town. Right now,
So the DRB people aren't paid.
they're not paid, the clerk is paid. But no, the DRB board, that's all volunteer. Cemeteries volunteer. As Frank knows so well, that's a lot of work.
Now,
This
can
one-
the listers be paid a stipend, a modest stipend?
That was an
It doesn't
issue. What was the
necessar-
issue with that? There was an issue with that.
with a stipend?
There was.
So rather than counting the hours, there's a flat fee and it's modest.
Cause it used to be a stipend.
It used to be a
But
stipend.
What was there was an issue and I don't know.
I don't know, I don't remember, but you guys decided not to. I think because you were gonna pay an assessor and an assistant. Not to pay the stipend it would just be a volunteer board,
I think that's what it was.
yeah.
Well, and to truly have it be a once a month meeting. As a
Right.
lister.
Right,
So it would work the same way. During the elected duties, you would not be paid. Yeah, how would that work?
doing what?
During these meetings?
Right,
Well,
see what's gonna get tricky, so
Yeah,
if we stick with the 3 of us, right? So the meetings would not be paid and then everything else we would be paid hourly for?
well,
What
that's where I
about
stopped.
grievance hearings and all that stuff? No.
well, I thought that the stipend would be like Jim said. I don't know, once a year or whatever, you're
It's twice a
paid.
year.
It was like twice a year, yeah.
Yeah, then you're paid a certain amount of money and that represents all your hours, all your your education, everything. So there'd be just cut and dried, this is what you get and this is what's
That's-
required.
See, I don't know
So
about
can
the-
legal,
I don't know.
I
That's
don't
a-
know.
That's a
I just-
question I've never had to deal with, so I don't know.
And the select board just gets a stipend, right?
right,
I mean,
and
you-
so does the
you-
water board, and they could do all kinds of hours and all kinds of trainings and.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's, you could put in a lot of time as a select board member.
Yeah, chair does, cemetery commission chair does. The DR, you know.
Yep.
DRB.
There,
chair,
the
yeah.
DRB chair does, all the board members do, you know, the water board is, each one of them has a different project they're working on, I mean, they're all putting in a bunch of hours and just get a stipend.
I don't know how you separate the
That's
hours.
the thing between, yeah, what you're doing.
I could see,
Oh, yours as an assistant.
yeah, or, yeah, because I've stopped putting in for hours for the lister. For the
Okay.
lister time, the lister meetings.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't it be the same, like you would get the stipend? And then whatever physical hours you spent in the office with Lisa or going out and looking at property, you would still be paid an X number of hours a week. So that would be specified. I guess it would. I guess you'd have to figure out for the stipend, how many hours of education, so it's 48 hours of education. How much would a person be paid for that?
But, so if we say $25 an hour, right?
Yeah.
50 hours is $1,250
Okay. All right,
For each lister.
for each lister. Yes,
Yeah,
so that would
and-
be
I would just count, the-
$1,200,
I would just do the hours.
$1,200 for each lister for training.
Or you could do that.
so I guess the difference would be, you'd be paid hours to train. How many, the 48 hours. You'd be paid for that, you'd be paid for 48 hours of training plus your hourly work in the office. So.
As an assistant.
As an
Right.
assistant, yeah. So that would be more clear, probably.
It's just then what do you do about the time, the next training is in Rutland, the travel time. The law would say you get paid for your travel time and you get paid for the hours that you're at the training.
Yeah.
And you
it's-
have to, then you have to do prep and you're supposed to read before you go and understand what you're getting. How do you separate one from,
Yeah,
It's hard, it should either be one way or the other, right?
yeah,
it's
Either all
actually
stipend.
simpler just to do. It's like we have a paid lister. And we have unpaid listers.
Can you do, based on your responsibilities, could you do a stipend for someone who's just going to do the training and not do the day-to-day weekly work? And then there's a lister who's going to do the weekly work.
And if you do it that way, if they change what the trainings have to be or whatever, it's probably simpler just to do an hourly rate
For everybody.
yeah.
for the
that's
time,
true.
for the time you put
You
in.
put
Yeah,
And because we put in, I think you said like 15 hours a week, and I very rarely put in 15 hours a week. That's why I was saying,
I think because I was just looking at those spreadsheets, I think it was 12 hours. I think
12 hours?
Yeah, I think this said 16 hours a week.
right, the
And then-
assistant did.
Yeah, 16 hours a week, but I think we budgeted for 12. Because last year you didn't even come close to using that.
No, because last year I thought it was 5.
So.
So I was trying to be really careful. And then, you're gone for a week or two, and so you kind of bank
yeah,
hours, because when we were out, trudging in the snow, taking pictures, it was more hours than that. But I'm also restricted by my
Retirement.
retirement. You can't work any more
Oh.
than 24 hours a week, so I never worked.
Hmm.
I think there was one week where I was at 22 hours, so. But it's probably just simpler. Depends on who you have in the position, I would assume, but you know, you also have someone who can make it clear about. I usually check with Lisa, you know, what, is this okay to do or not, to do like, you know.
Yeah. Well, if you did an hourly thing,
would
you
probably-
two could kind of go back and forth and figure out how many hours of, study or reading or travel or, cause you're gonna, well, and you would,
There's really only the one, well, there's the 2-day or it's 4 days, part days to do the Lister training.
The
Online,
new Lister training,
yeah,
right? It's a 4-day, it's a 2-day in person, it's a 4-day online.
I just thought it was less. I don't wanna say painful, but to do the 2 days, plus there's a whole lot of expertise in that room. There were like close to 50 people. And the questions were totally more informed than you could even,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, there's some really good people.
People have been doing it for 20, 25 years,
Yeah,
and most of them have like more than one hat. Like, they're also the cemetery, on the cemetery board, and on the veterans
Yeah.
board, and whatever. Yeah, but if we figured. Well, we budget for 12 hours a week, we're probably. Not far off already with what we budgeted, if we do the 3 of us. As the. Board of Listers, that would mean you'd have to run, right?
Yeah.
In March.
yeah, she'd have to be elected. And we all know that no one else wants the job.
Well, we have advertised,
We've advertised a couple times,
Yeah.
we put it out when there have been votes,
put up signs,
put up signs.
So then you would have to be appointed in January.
When you resign,
for January and in February.
and then I would run in
March.
March.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we wouldn't win.
Huh?
Maybe we wouldn't win.
Are you up? No, am I up? No, I think I have one more
One of
year.
us must be.
What's up to your side?
I'm not up.
Maybe,
I'm not up. So it's gonna be
you
one,
had, oh, okay.
one of you.
Yeah, Mary was just on the ballot, right?
Yes,
Last year.
Yeah.
Listers. 2026, Kathy's up.
Oh,
Jim 2027, Mary was up in 2028.
2020, oh, okay. This year.
Frank is up too this year. Is he gonna go again?
I hope so.
He's so
I think
good
he
at it.
will. I'll
He's so
encourage
good.
him to.
So what we have budgeted right now is 12 hours a week. For 50 weeks. That's 600 hours at.
Lisa's got a calculator.
Where is my salary?
I don't think it's gonna be a whole lot of money.
So 12 hours a week at 25.75 an hour is what we budgeted for this year. So that is what is, so it was
I'm gonna get a raise, maybe?
20 hours a week at 25.75, and it was 24,000 for me. So it was $40,320. That's what we budgeted this year. So,
So we have to put together a formal proposal to the select board. All right,
so the question is, do we go to a 3-person board?
And keep an assessor, assistant assessor, assessor, lister, assistant assessor, lister, lister. Would be
Yes.
the makeup.
Yeah, an
A
assessor.
5-person
No,
team?
no, it would be an assessor slash lister, assistant assessor slash lister. And a
And a
lister.
list,
And a lister, okay. As far as job functions, like.
yes,
Okay,
yeah, that makes sense.
And assistant assessor would have to have what? Under the new law,
well,
Oh, for education,
nothing, but as a lister, you're gonna need level 1,
level 1.
Yep.
Okay.
all right.
yeah. And
I wanted to know if I was getting myself into something.
Another 48 hours of education.
Well, I would want to continue, you know,
Yeah,
but yeah.
And Jim, what do you think?
Yeah, and I would just be the lister.
Is that okay?
Look,
You can do our boat rides to Butler Island.
Yes.
Site inspections.
Okay, so we have to come up with a proposal. Does it change the job descriptions? Not really. Or it's just. A
Now, who's
person
gonna
has,
do what? No, it's just.
We have-
going- So in the lister job description, we're gonna have to put the 48 hours of level 1, attain a level 1. And the job description for the assistant is gonna be, you're gonna need to attain a level 1.
yeah,
And then the assessor is gonna need at least a level
level
2
2.
for the certification.
so how would the
And-
pay be structured? Cause you're gonna have weekly hours. Plus education hours. And the education hours. The requirement is
And
48.
also the lister would have education hours. I think it's simpler just to pay hourly.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying, but then, as you said, there's required reading and there's travel time, so your travel time would not be. It's paid as travel time, right?
No, it's hourly.
It's paid as
Okay,
hourly.
okay.
You get mileage if you drive your car.
Yeah,
get
that's-
mileage.
that's
Mileage.
what I was thinking.
But
yeah,
you
you
also,
get
if
your-
it's,
your
you
hourly
get your
rate.
hourly rate from the
Because I-
time you leave until the time you get back. You get
Right.
paid for that. It's like time.
Yeah,
So
Okay,
it's an hourly rate.
and I know that that's a legal requirement because, we had. Paras and who are hourly people who had to go to training. And it ended up going through the whole labor relations board and everything, and they had to be paid from, not from their home.
No,
You
from
get
here,
paid from your
the office.
place of work
Yeah.
yeah,
to the location.
I knew that there was a legal thing with that,
Yeah,
yeah, so.
then if you just did hourly, would you still get paid for the time in a lister meeting or not?
I would.
It gets interesting when you have
Yeah,
dual roles
well, I guess I assumed not.
for
That it
lister
was-
meetings.
You paid just for the time you spent in education. I don't know. But how much are we talking, like, if it's 48 hours, then you gotta, what about?
That's a year, in a year. So we already have 12 hours a week budgeted.
For you,
But if it was 10 instead of 12, you'd have 2 hours times 50, you'd have 100 hours. For the other person. For travel and going to training. That they could put in for,
Oh, saying that you only use 10 hours a week?
yeah,
And that still leaves 2 hours a week.
which is 100
Oh,
hours
I
a
see.
year.
So it's already in the budget,
okay,
so
okay,
That's why I
because
think it
this
might be simpler
training-
just to do hourly,
is gonna start, so this takes effect like
January.
January.
yeah,
and you have a year to do it.
And a year to do it, but the bulk of the training happens starting in March, when new listers are elected, so it's March, April, May, June, right, is the
Yes.
bulk of the training.
Yeah.
Um. Which is already, that's this budget that we're in right now.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
so, you know, but that, the select board's gonna have to realize that we may be over budget. We were under budget last year. So, we have some,
Well, because we're budgeted for 12 hours a week,
and if you only do 10,
we're not
we're
gonna,
we're not gonna be over.
yeah.
so you're just gonna do a timesheet. And a timesheet for your travel, or that would be written in.
Yeah, because you put your hours in, so if the thing starts at 9 o'clock and it takes an hour and a half to get there. You put your start time at 7:30,
Yeah,
and then you stay overnight, so it's not,
so then is your hotel paid?
yeah. the-
Okay,
The town pays for your hotel.
And
Or no,
there's,
That's part of the grant.
there's grant money for anybody who travels more than 50 miles, gets mileage and hotels reimbursed, meals reimbursed. There's a
Okay.
grant program, so,
okay,
we've been using that.
Yeah, and they feed you
Yeah,
very well.
yeah.
so how many hours would we be proposing as to go into the budget?
Okay, so for the lister, it's education only, no board, right? No board time,
Yeah,
so no board meeting time. So what if we said 60 hours? In a year? And what are we gonna pay this person?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
what do you want, Jim?
$15?
I mean, that's just
What's,
barely minimum. Minimum's 14 something.
yeah, so.
And are you gonna attract anybody at $15 an hour
If we were to post it,
if we were to post it?
yeah, at least 20.
Yeah, because they could go to McDonald's and make it.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't even get,
exactly.
you don't even get lunch for $20 at McDonald's. So that's 60 hours.
At $20, is that what we agree on?
Yeah. Well, let's, yeah,
We'll
let's
see
go
what
with
comes out.
that and see what it comes out to.
Okay, so then we go to the assistant assessor and the lister.
Okay, and the assistant assessor, I'm perfectly comfortable with 10 hours.
You can get everything done in 10 hours a week.
I think so.
Plus the training?
Oh,
No, I think that the training's gonna be added to your,
Yeah, that's above and beyond what
Yeah.
you're doing in the office. So if we
And you-
do 10 hours a week for 52 weeks. Is 520 hours. Plus the 60 that we're saying is for training, right?
that's 580.
That's 580. So we'll figure you for 580 hours.
yeah, because if you're figuring it for 52 weeks in a year, you've got 2 weeks hours that you're probably not gonna be here, right?
Right.
And so you can kind of figure that out as you go and have a few,
Yeah,
a cushion.
Yeah, well, yeah, when I figure these, I never do 52. I always do 50, because there's always 2 weeks.
2 weeks later. Well,
But you
that's all right.
should, because there are gonna be times.
Yeah.
You're gonna do
during
more, right?
Reappraisal and
Yeah.
it's just gonna be, there's gonna be more.
Gives you that extra cushion to use the hours.
Well, when we get to reappraisal, we'll have a better idea.
That'll be a different year.
Yeah,
That'll be a different,
yeah.
and that will go under the reappraisal budget.
Yeah,
So hours that are specifically spent, right?
yeah.
So that'll be a different, and then we're a year.
You
out
guys
from
all
that.
did that? Volunteer?
No.
No.
Gosh, I hope.
Paid.
Well, that's good. I can't imagine doing that
Oh,
unpaid, because that's, yeah,
No, that was a lot.
that is. a
It
lot.
burned me out.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we had grievances. I mean, you gotta expect you're gonna have a lot,
a lot of grievances, yeah.
because people get real antsy about that. Big changes.
Yeah,
Okay, so if we figure 10 hours a week for 520 hours a year, plus the 60 hours in education, that does not include lister board meetings?
right.
Right.
So no board meetings. Okay. And we keeping her at her rate of 25.75, or are you gonna get the 3% increase?
I'm getting paid 25.75 now? I didn't even know. I would like the 3% increase.
Okay, you guys good with that?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
might as
think-
well go
I
with
just-
it and see.
Everybody else gets the 3% increase in town.
And the thing is, I didn't even want. Okay, but yeah,
Well, it's
because
different.
there's, yeah, and I figure the additional. Training, like I never even kept up with email. You see how much email we get as listers, like there's like daily. And sometimes it just says, thank you for giving us this information. I'm like,
Yeah, delete.
don't send that to everybody.
Okay,
And the maps and all of that stuff. I wonder how many hours we put in there and we were doing all the map stuff.
I have no idea.
Okay, so level 1 for, no, this is level 2 for the appraiser. Assessor, this is level 1. Has to get added to this, level 1 has to get added to the lister. And I would just suggest that we also put in unpaid versus paid, that the lister meeting time is unpaid versus the rest of the time. I wasn't clear on that. It's just better to be clear, I think.
Yeah, especially in presenting it to the select board. So that they know we're not adding hours to meetings.
For meeting time.
Yeah.
Which means lister meeting and appeals, right, and BCA.
Yeah, I guess so.
we'll have to talk about that for the reappraisal, I think,
Yeah, but that'll be reappraisal
like
money.
reappraisal money. Cause,
But
you know, to do 1 or
I
2.
think I put in that time this year for appeal day. I don't think I was clear on what was paid and what was not paid. Lister versus paid lister on a duty. Yeah, if we have a whole bunch of appeals,
But I think you also did extra work during appeals.
I pulled
That-
together all the.
Yeah,
you got all the
That
stuff.
I didn't do. You did a lot more, so I wouldn't worry about it. You did work that would have been assistant. Assessor,
Assessor.
yep,
Well, I'll just check with you. Is this assistant assessor?
Well, why don't we just leave it at the board meeting? Anything else
Because that would go for Jim
Yeah.
too, in terms of
you get paid for?
get
Yeah.
paid for appeal day and that kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah, so then. That's sort of up in the air, you don't know how many appeals, you don't know how many hours,
Yeah, because you took care of a lot of them before we even got to appeal day.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
went out and saw them and talked to them, whatever. Yeah. Okay, that feels straightforward.
so we have to give them numbers.
So
Or,
what about me?
oh, you wanted to be paid?
I do want to be paid.
So you're taking on additional duties.
By what? What am I taking on this additional?
Yeah, you're still doing the same thing you're doing now.
You should just get paid for all your time.
Well, I thought you did.
I'm salaried.
Oh, that's right. Salary.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
So is that the same thing, 3.5% raise?
3%? Yeah,
Well, I would say so.
Yeah,
Actually, you've attained the level 1. I think when you get to level 2, there should be a bump. That's a
Well-
lot of,
oh, yeah, a lot of extra stuff. But how would that be in the,
we could, yeah, because
We
that
could
would
do
be
that
for
in-
August. I would attain my level 2 in August. I have to be a level 1 for 2 years, which would be August.
I think once you attain that level 2, there should be another bump. I don't know what, how much it should be, but
So 3%, right now I make 24,720 as the assessor. It started at 24,000, I got the 3% last year. So 3% puts me at 25,461.60. So that's what it would be as of July first.
first, and then I would do another bump when you get level 2. Otherwise, you're not
Well-
gonna keep people doing this.
But would that go into the budget for next year in anticipation of your getting, okay? Yeah,
Yeah, because it's dependent on getting it. And we sure don't want to lose an assessor, please. So, yeah. So maybe another 3.5%, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I'd say be a sport and do a 5.
I-
It's,
It's a
a
significant
lot.
jump.
right.
And it's a
Yeah.
huge.
I was thinking the same
responsibility.
thing, Jim. Yeah, the level of responsibility and,
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah, the 3.5% is just sort of an annual increment that everybody gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have the-
now you can add fries to your
As
lunch.
a point.
I agree. A 5% bump once you get level 2.
Bump upon earning level 2
I have to
certification.
do the math on that and
Yeah. Okay, so that would be, so 25,461.60. So it's an additional $1,200, 1,273. $26,700.
yeah. I think that's,
so are you gonna have to figure out how much we're gonna be over budget until,
This year, well, we
Yeah.
think we're gonna be okay. Right,
yes,
this year.
yeah.
well, in January though, when classes are, they gonna start having classes in January?
Not till March.
Not till March. But then people will have to be paid.
And
And,
it's in this fiscal year. Yep, but she's only gonna, we budgeted her for 12. And she's only gonna do 10 hours a week, which will give the extra.
The extra amount.
okay,
Yeah, I can manage it 10 hours a week.
okay. Then with education in March, they'll both be
And
paid.
Jim's already done his new lister training, so technically you don't have to
okay.
do it again. Once you get that certificate,
Yeah,
that's all you need.
yeah. that-
Okay.
that
So
was-
it's not something you have to do every year, although they're trying to figure
I
out
thought
what
it was.
happens
There was something about a
continuing.
continuing ed hours or
There
something.
were continuing ed hours, but once you get that level 1, and I asked that, what happens after? He goes, well, there will be continuing ed, but they're not sure what that means.
Yeah,
So-
they
I
haven't gotten
had
it.
that,
He,
but it was a few years ago.
So you did the Lister 1 training already?
you went to Morrisville or wherever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You went to the in-person,
Yeah, it was 2 days in person.
Yeah.
Oh, I
so
think,
he did that.
oh. What was the in-person one? I thought that was Lister training that I went to last year,
It what? You went this year.
this year. Okay,
You went to the Lister training this year. You went last year, right? You went this March. You went last March.
because I went to Fairleigh. And you went to, if you went to Morrisville, that was a different one.
Yeah, I went to Morrisville. Yeah.
I think that was a year ago that you
Where
went.
we from?
Oh. Okay,
You still have your certificate?
Probably.
Because if you don't, then you will have to take it again.
but they would have
That's
sent it to you in email, so I,
Yeah.
yeah, I bet you
Oh,
find
yeah.
it.
That's a
That's
problem.
not a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, I don't do it. My wife,
Yeah,
does email, but,
but I think you would have had to put down some email address, which
They
if
do
you-
email it to the,
if you put it down, your wife's email, they would have sent it to hers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't have my own email. I'll just use hers for both of us.
well, we'll have to ask Marie if she can find it.
Yeah, I'll go through my papers to see.
Oh, maybe she printed it out for you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
also So, yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Okay. Um,
Okay, are we feeling pretty set with that part?
and then I'm gonna be a lister and I'm gonna run.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Do we add that to the job description? No, we just do the lister job description separate,
Well,
or do we add it here?
I would think
We
that
probably
there'd
do
be-
add. it. No?
cause now you're essentially requiring the assessor to be a
Oh.
resident
Right, right.
Oh, right.
Do it
to
separate.
be a lister.
And then if you're a resident, you can also be a lister. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
okay.
Um,
So this was 60 hours. Unpaid meetings.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what was his name? Douglas. I can't think of his last name. He was a lister for, I don't know, a couple of years. He was elected. And then all of a sudden, everybody realized he was a Canadian citizen.
Oh,
He lived here. He
Oh.
lived in town,
well,
but he was Canadian.
how did he must have been able to vote though? I mean, somebody must have known he wasn't a registered, you have to be a registered voter.
I don't know. Maybe he was a registered voter and,
and probably shouldn't have been,
Yeah.
unless he had dual citizenship.
right,
Oh, wow,
yeah,
that must have been an oops.
yeah.
So the other thing in your descriptions, it says the appraiser cannot hold both the
Oh,
the
right.
position of
right, right.
appraiser and a lister.
So we gotta take that off.
And I think it says the same thing for the assessor. I think we need to
Yeah.
change that.
Okay, but it's not a state thing. It was
It's not a
just-
state thing. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
you changing that?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
And I think that's on both of them. And then
it's on the assistant one too?
I think so. You can't, yeah, it is. You can't be both.
Yep,
Well, I thought it was that way originally.
That's the
Yeah.
way you set it up.
Yeah,
Right? But, and then the other thing, I had a question. It says, send yearly updates to town cartograph? What is that?
cartographer,
Cartographer.
map
it's a
maker,
map.
Yeah.
map
Oh,
guide.
that's a map.
Okay.
maker. What's that
All
one
right,
under?
we're doing that.
We
I'm
are
like,
doing
oh my
that.
God, like, I'm supposed to be doing that. Well, I don't know what that is. Okay, because it does say update maps and stuff, so I thought,
We were joining these from
Oh,
other
other
using. from-
things.
Yeah, other
Okay.
people had.
All right. Okay, so are you gonna update the job descriptions? You're gonna do that? Okay,
Then I'll run them by everybody, just take a look.
Okay,
because we will present this at the October 6th meeting
Okay,
for the select board. So we
Okay.
have a meeting that morning to
Oh, good.
present what we
Okay.
will all,
so we'll go over all that.
we'll have it all typed up and ready to go. and-
Okay,
oh, okay, good,
So we'll be
yeah, so
prepared,
there's no big rush on it. but-
okay,
right? It'll go in the packet though,
right.
ahead of time,
Yeah,
They have to have it like.
They
the
have to
week
have it on
before
Friday,
Friday,
but
yeah,
we'll email it to, we'll have it done for that Monday. We can email it out if you have any issues or something.
okay.
Okay.
What else in the budget? do
So
we
what
have?
else in the budget do we need to discuss? Okay, so I'll add up those numbers and get those and do the FICA, the childcare, the retirement.
Yeah, map making, we said.
We said 5,700 and that invoice was 3,000, but I wanted to look, are there other other thing? I think there's another charge we get from CAI.
I think there is.
I think there's two.
Yeah,
It's like a maintenance thing versus
yeah,
I think the online support or the,
maybe. That's why I was wondering, because we budgeted, well, the actual was that, but that was because of all the map changes. we made.
yeah, they said that, yeah.
yeah,
I should reach out to, what's his name? Franco. See if there's gonna be an increase for next year. They're
Oh,
planning an increase. So 3,000, yeah, we get one in the fall usually.
then there's another one in the spring.
Yeah. There's two a year, about $3,000. So. Should we go that to 6,000 for that one?
Yeah,
Okay. I don't think legal should be where it is. I don't think we're gonna need any more. We're not, I think we bumped that. Did we bump that thinking we were gonna do a reappraisal? I don't know why
Oh.
not. We bumped that.
for this year, we budgeted another
1,600, yeah.
Oh,
So for the fiscal year we're in, we budgeted 1,600 and we spent 85.
that's professional and other services. 60.
Oh, that's not legal. Yeah, I'm sorry. Got the wrong line. Professional and other services is NEMRIC.
Oh, that's number.
Yep, that's the NEMRIC.
We know if they're gonna increase their,
I haven't seen anything from them about that. So legal will leave 1,000.
I know it's kind of like you never know.
Yeah.
Managed services, that's DC3.
Right. And I think we had a 3-year contract, so I think the 2,800 should be fine, but I'll double check those numbers. The software,
Yeah, what's happening with,
we never got billed for the $600 from Nemrick to put the property cards online. That was supposed to be a $600 charge. That's why we increased it from the year before.
oh,
Or maybe that's why we increased the professional and other services to 1,600. It was 1,000. Because we were supposed to be billed $600 from Nemrick and we never got a bill for that.
Or maybe you haven't gotten
Or
it
maybe
yet.
you haven't gotten it yet. Maybe that's it.
Yeah,
that's the state, it might, yeah, take a while.
Um,
Software,
computer
We're-
software, let's see what's in that one.
that's gonna be subscriptions.
yeah, because you added some things to mine that I didn't have.
What's that number? Computer software. Let's see. Epic. Apex,
What's that?
that's the sketch software, Apex. Yeah, and then there was Lister Managed Services. It was a journal entry that we corrected something. Wonder. Oh, I think computer software is the Microsoft licensing for us,
Oh, okay.
so. And then telephone,
So that would just stay the same, you think,
Yeah,
the
that's-
software
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Okay. Telephone, that was fixed this year, right?
right,
Postage,
I think we have to increase postage
I know,
because
one to like
It's-
70 cents,
yeah,
and international's like,
yeah. Yeah, and if we're doing all those
oh,
buyer seller letters and the grievance notices and you wanna go to 750?
Yeah, the buyer seller letters, you have to do return postage on, right?
So there's 2
Yeah,
for
yeah.
everyone.
Yeah,
hey, you can't do it
So there's
for,
4 for
I
every PTU.
learned this year, you can't do it for international. We
oh,
can't pay their return postage.
oh,
So
cause
I
it has to
usually,
be Canadian.
I adjusted their letter to just say, you know, you can email your response, or
Oh,
took out the line that said, you know, postage paid, stamp included or whatever.
yeah,
Listers advertising. I think we could safely leave it at,
300, yeah,
300.
that's just the notices that go in the grievance notices and stuff in the island and.
printing, copying. I have no idea what we use.
Also, that's our cost of
That-
the
cartridge, isn't it?
cartridge and the copier, the big copier.
Does
And
it keep track?
Corinne,
When,
the copier, the new copier, we have a 5-year contract on it. I think it's up in 2 years. We're gonna go to that, so we can start keeping track of. And the postage machine we set up this year so that we could start keeping
Does
track
show
of
it.
postage. Yeah, are you putting it on our lister?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just gotta figure out how to get the reports out of it.
oh.
So it's keeping track of it, but we can't find the information.
It's in there somewhere.
It's in there somewhere, we know that. And then printing and copying, Corinne asked me to, have the listers pay for half of those color cartridges because you're using the
I
pictures.
am, I'm doing the pictures on the color copier.
So we
Yeah.
maybe should bump
Do I
that
need, to do them on the color copier?
if we're gonna put them in. So that's what we wanted to ask
Yeah.
for too. Let's not forget. that.
Yeah, I asked her about that.
Oh.
And
Okay.
does it need to be in a notebook, or can I just add them to Canva?
She was gonna put the copies actually in the folders, each parcel folder.
right, but then because of cost of,
Well, not that, do they, when they come to do the appraisal, do they take copies of those folders or
Do
do
they take the
they?
folders with them when they go?
Or
look at
do they,
something?
should we put them in a binder so
No,
that we
I
can
don't-
just hand them the binder?
I don't think they brought a folder with them. They had their own forms that they filled out from scratch so that they're not
Oh.
looking at our information and writing that in.
Gotcha.
That was,
And
Okay,
being influenced by it.
by
Right.
what we had. Oh,
Right.
okay, that makes sense.
Did they take the binder with them with the
the
shoreline
lakeshore?
pictures?
no, those were done,
In advance, so they,
those were done right around during the reappraisal, but they were done by us.
Did they look at them?
It was taken into consideration because
yeah,
there's,
there's, what is it called, the land grade or something?
yeah, because, you know, if they don't have good access to the water, then they have a lower grade. I'm trying to remember this from 10 years ago. But we had them all in a binder
Yeah,
by parcel number. But I don't see why you couldn't just put them in
there.
CAMA. And if you put them in CAMA and then you add other picture, how many pictures can you have?
I don't think there's a limit.
Okay, so
Oh,
you,
in Canva?
No.
okay,
And in
I've
Canva,
seen some with 10 pictures I've sent, most have 2 or 3.
they're gonna
I-
have access to Canva,
yes,
so
they
they'll
are,
see them in there.
yep.
Oh, so we won't need to really,
I don't really need to.
well, you don't need to put them in a binder. If you wanted to put them in the parcel folder.
Can you print them out from CAMA?
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay, so if you needed it, you could print it out, otherwise it's in there. I wouldn't spend the money on the color
color
printer.
photos, yeah,
Mhm.
okay. I was just doing it because they were done in
That's
that
what we
binder
were done,
before.
yeah.
If the,
I was thinking about putting the 2014 picture and the current one in the folder, or
yeah,
even now, take the ones that are in the binder and put them in the folder.
yeah,
By street name,
yeah,
okay,
Okay,
and it'll be clear that they were 2014 pictures, right?
yep,
Cause I think they had a sticker on them or
they have
something.
a sticker on them.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, whoever did it did a nice job. And it really helps me to compare, to make sure I've got the right house sometimes. And sometimes they've really changed
yeah,
the house, so.
yeah.
Yeah, I put some in a list of when we go out to look at houses, just, wow, is that really the house now?
And I was saying, to Kathy this morning, you know, you're taking the pictures quite a ways ahead of time. And, a lot of people, especially now because the water is low,
Yeah,
a lot of people are getting, island excavating to come in and do a seawall. So I'm wondering.
is that
I
an
know-
added feature that you assess?
Well, if they have a seawall because they've got erosion on their bank, erosion reduces value
And so
because
seawall-
you're losing land. So the seawall prevents that. So what I was thinking is Island Excavating, we talked to them this last spring because they were, excuse me, putting in a wall up the shore from us. And we were just curious, and the guy was chatty. Anyway, he said, we always have to get a state permit in order to put in one of these walls. So I'm wondering if you can pull state permits and know, like at the time of the reappraisal, know whether or not their shoreline has changed to adding a.
I would think that's
seawall.
public info.
Danielle gets it,
Yeah.
She gets those?
I think so.
Oh, so we
So
can
it
get
would
them from
seem, it
Danielle.
would seem to me it'd be great to have that list and know, okay, these are the properties. And look at it from 2014 to now, whether or not that lake shore has changed.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll ask Danielle.
because that was one of the questions we were gonna ask Ben too. What do you count? When you're doing, if we go out and take pictures, does that change something on their cost sheet? If they have a seawall?
Because we have a couple that have put them in.
I mean, I don't know. Did it
Well-
change, probably would change their assessment, right?
Well, it could, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, people don't put in a $50,000 wall because, you know,
it looks pretty.
yeah, not for aesthetics.
Well, I have seen some of the pictures I've been taking, it has increased their beach significantly,
The water depth,
the water depth.
yeah, yeah. But this year. it's
No, the
such-
seawall too, they've cut back into their land.
Oh,
So does that reduce your acreage?
if they wanted to have a
Survey
a
them,
survey, but, yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Paid for 2 seawalls and there are a bunch of piles of rocks now on the beach.
Really?
They got
I
washed
watched.
out.
oh,
Really?
Oh, you're kidding me, because of the
First
water
time
coming
was
down?
Irene,
Yeah,
and the second time it just,
wow.
over time it collapsed.
Wow.
So now it's a pile of rocks?
Pretty much.
Oh,
Wow. I always assume that it's just permanent.
No,
Wow.
you paid for it twice. And I think Islands did the first one. Joey might have done the second one. I forget who did the second one, but they say
That's discouraging.
it's pretty trashy now, just.
Ah,
huh, okay. I will stop making color photos and just put them in camera.
Okay.
Well, the other thing is that because the photos on camera are, no, I'm keeping them in a file. Because it's on a file that you can open, you can also expand it to go in to look closer at what it is.
Ah.
So it's a useful tool.
yeah. Okay, where are we?
Printing, copying, so we can probably, I don't use it for anything other than that.
Yeah, the color, yeah, I didn't think so.
But isn't the cartridge that we have in the printer in our office, isn't that expensive? That has to be replaced a couple times a year or once a year?
That's the black and.
The
that's
black one, yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna bump that 100?
No, I thought that maybe the 250 covered it.
So printing
don't
and copying goes towards the copying paper we all use.
Hmm.
Oh,
So
yeah.
every department has a printing and copier line. And it's the cost of the copier, the lease agreement for the copier.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of all goes to that, not just, and the toner cartridges that we're using and all of that, so.
Well, it seems to me that we weren't using the one in our office as much because it's expensive.
We were trying to use
The
the,
other one,
Using the
one,
other one.
yeah, yeah. So you want to keep it at 250 or bump it
well, why don't we bump it to 300 just to,
300?
Right.
Okay. I don't think you need to bump mileage because we get reimbursed.
I think you're
We
right.
can just leave it at 700. Meetings and travel. So,
I mean, I guess I feel the same way about mileage. We probably could lower it because
We do get reimbursed?
we get reimbursed.
You wanna leave it at go to 500?
Go to 500 instead of 700 for mileage.
Drop it.
And the meetings and travel, pretty much we get reimbursed for.
Yeah, they're all free.
I think you really could drop it to 500. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Well, it was 250.
that's what our actual was.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably even go down to 250. What did we have? Oh, 250 is for you traveling around and going out and doing photos and stuff.
Yeah, but I really don't. I don't keep track of I know I should, but I don't keep track of my mileage.
We never did. We
I
never
never
got
did.
paid for our travel or,
Never.
and then there was the whole thing when gas costs
Yeah.
went up. It was, yeah.
So I wanna see what the 250 is. Because I think, did
Did
I
we
have to
put-
pay for a course or something?
Did we put them in and then get reimbursed? Is that why it shows up on the budget? If you get reimbursed, it would be.
So it's
deductible.
under, I put it under grant expenses. So there's a new line, grant expenses. That's where I put,
Oh,
we got
okay.
reimbursed for the grant. So we got grant income on the other side, and those are the expenses that we got reimbursed for.
Okay.
So 250 was a course I think I took through IAO.
Oh, cause
I
you,
had to pay for. It was a course that I got reimbursed for.
well, there's one of them that I have to take that's IAO, right?
Yeah, but I think Val is paying, there was something I had to take that I got reimbursed for 250, it just says Lisa Keyworth, and I remember it, but I think it was something. It was one of the courses I had to pay for.
So leave it at 250. Or drop it to 250 because it was up to 1,000 for this year.
The meetings and travel,
Mhm.
I'll have to see what that course was, because if you and Jim both have to take it, it's $250, that's $500.
Well, that's right.
I would leave it at 1,000 until
Okay.
we know what this actually means for the
For the training. that we're doing.
training,
Cause you're right, it's gonna be over before July.
yeah.
Supplies,
Yeah.
300.
I don't know. I guess that would be, but again, if we do new filing cabinets and folders,
Oh,
that's gonna be under the reappraisal
oh,
fund expense.
oh, it will?
Yeah, anything that's for the reappraisal is gonna go under the
Okay.
reappraisal fund. Yeah. And then that brings us to the reappraisal fund, which I think didn't we already talk about this? That we're gonna have to bump it to 25,000
Yeah.
if we're gonna have to do it every 6 years,
We won't have enough money
Right.
put aside.
right? At the end of 6 years, and that list or other, that's just or something that maybe we don't have a plan for.
Well, what do we put for grant expenses then?
I would leave that at 0. And then it will just go under grant income, and it's offset,
It's a
yeah,
wash.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then there's $100 other, yeah. So you're gonna check out NIMRIC and CAI, see if there's any additional amounts for
Yeah.
mapping and professional services.
Yep.
And then fix the retirement ones. No, we're gonna look like an expensive department this year.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, so I will enter all these numbers and send that out, and we'll do the thing for the select board and the job descriptions and
Descriptions.
send that out, and can discuss it at the next meeting,
and our next meeting is,
October 6th.
6th. Okay. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Hey.
Aye. What time is it?
11:20,
11.
15, maybe.
11:17.
Okay.